Hey guys, Dylan from the Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to RWBY Volume 9, Episode 6. Now, I haven't opened up Crunchyroll yet, so I don't have the title or the synopsis, because I want to give you these fresh thoughts that I have a feeling this is going to be the Jean flashback episode. Because we've just gotten the reveal that he is in fact a Rusted Knight. However, we don't know when he arrived, how far through the story he got, how he met the blacksmith, how long he's been the Rusted Knight. We don't know any of this. So I'm expecting this one to jump back and show that, because there's a lot of history within his time in the Ever After that needs to be explained. Okay, so I pretty much straight up seeing the title, probably gonna be wrong, because it's Confessions Within Cumulonimbus Clouds, in which old friends reunite. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't really want to be standing within a storm cloud. I know they've got their whole alliteration thing, and, well, confessions, it's a heavy word, especially with everything they've been showing this volume. But this is probably going to be Barbara and Aaron's screen grabs in this episode, because there's just those two, the shot of Salem and the shot of Ruby opening that or closing that chest that have yet to be shown. However, as usual, before we get started, I have a few comments to make about the last episode or the discussions between. And now there's been many comments made that the reflection in the blacksmith's scythe could be Summer, meaning that that was her weapon, much like how Penny's sword showed her and Alex's knife showed her. And well, I'm not entirely fond of this idea. I do like the idea of it being a potential dark Ruby. There is a lot of evidence outside of the universe that could lend credence to this fact. That being that apparently there's been a VA cast for Summer. And if there has been, and that was an alternate combat model, which is why it looks different to every other time we've seen her, that could imply a flashback. And also there's been the tweet from someone who works at Rooster Teeth saying that they were going to cosplay Summer soon, and why would they be doing that now instead of after the last volume where we got the clearest shot of her that we've had? So unless it's a different outfit. Speaking of blacksmith scene, how was Little involved in that? Like, we know the Curious Cat didn't see anything. The rest of the team, RWBY, who were with the cat, didn't see anything. RWBY was just in the middle of the pathway with market goers on either side of her. So, how was Little able to join her in that vision? This is just a me thing. I decided to scrap my. You know how I said in the last reaction that there was meant to be a theory video coming out before that one released? Yeah, I sort of scrapped it. I was so rushed with assignments and everything, I couldn't get it out to a satisfactory level. But it was basically just saying that the gods, probably the god of light, created this world without choice. The ability for people to die, meaning there's no grief to influence them like Salem, and the gods were not directly involved with the inhabitants like they were in Remnant. And I say this is mainly the god of light doing it because it seems to always be that the dark entity is the one that gives the freedom of choice or free will. So if this world is without it, then it was probably made by just the god of light. That's just my opinion. And finally, I've seen quite a few people complaining and being confused about the whole mother's promise that Ruby said is tied to her emblem, because they're like, this has never been touched on before. What promise could it have been? Yada yada yada. But this has been implied since Volume 1. Like, it was always implied that that was her mother's emblem and she just adopted it. Like she adopted Crow's weapon, like Yang adopted Ty's fighting styles and all that. So it's always been implied that that was her mum's emblem. And in the very first song that we hear in the show proper, Red Like Roses 2, Summer literally says in her part, I swore it would be okay. Now I'm nothing but a liar and you're thrown into the fray. When this is directly after saying she thought she'd be okay and that she'd return home. So literally her promise is, I will return, like I'll be back after this mission. And she gave Ruby the emblem. And that was the last thing that she saw. That's been a thing since Volume 1, so I just wanted to clear that up. Anyway, this has been my longest pre-ramble in a while, so let's get the episode started in 3, 2, 1, go. Don't know why that took so long. Oh yeah, also there's this, I saw that before I paused it, but I figured you'd guys see it in the reaction. Hang on. Still had it muted from when I was grabbing screenshots for the last episode. Oops. I was wondering why there was no volume coming through. I also meant to bring up the lyrics to this, but I forgot. Like, there is one shot from this opening, or one location, that we haven't seen yet. And that's this one right here. The, like, pseudo vault and everything. That's probably going to be this episode. Okay, I was wrong, there were several. Like, Neo's whole thing. Hey, I was hoping they would do that, but they've never done that before. They've never done, like, dynamic OPs. But, oh, that makes me irrationally happy. Maybe we are.
Just hold on.
Ooh, so he landed, or at least tried to land, with Crescent Rose. Which, as we know, fell before even Neo, so...
Where am I?
That's been there for years as well. I just want to say how happy I am that I was correct. You want to eat a club fruit?
Hey, no, wait. Wait! Stop it, please!
So he didn't fall first. He simply got sent back in time. And once again, it stopped at the 11th.
I thought maybe I'd never see you again. But I knew if I waited long enough, that you would fall. Just like I did.
That's not them, that's Alex and the boy.
It's really you, right?
He was
When
there
I saw
during
you
the
in the
time.
market,
Sean, it's us. How did you find us?
How are you the Rusted Knight? And when did you get so
Mature.
Okay.
What happened in Atlas after the rest of us
Well,
moved?
Weiss did say the Rusted Knight was handsome.
guess we've all got a lot of catching up to do.
She's got 2 relics now?
And with Cinder, the ability to get another. She doesn't know where the beacon relic is.
Well, there's that to be thankful for, at least.
We lost Atlas and the relic.
But we got everyone out safely. Jean said so.
We risked their home to save the relic, and we failed.
Getting everyone out has to count for something.
What good is saving anybody if Salem just destroys the world anyway?
That's how Ironwood
me.
thought. You don't mean that?
Are you done? We need to move before the weather turns, or it's going to take us a lot longer to get to safety. There will be plenty of time to lick your wounds later. Come on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, where are we going again?
My village. I still can't believe you made it all the way from the Crimson Keep on your own.
Not on our own. We had help. Oh. I hope the cat is okay.
What cat?
That cat!
He's had dealings with you, hasn't he?
I found you. Why is it you always find the thing you're looking for in the very last place you look? Sean! Oh,
He did
my.
say I
It has
was.
been an indeterminate amount of time, hasn't it? So, how have you been?
Wait, you two know each other?
Well, they'd have to. From the story.
Oh, John. I think there's a misunderstanding. The cat can get us all out of here.
We don't have time for this. We've got to get to my village. Don't worry. We don't need a guide.
But your friends wanted to go to the tree.
That's where you're letting them take you?
Well, yeah. That's how Alex got out. Right?
You didn't tell them anything.
No, that's simply not true. I told them plenty of things. A few anythings and lots of somethings.
Can somebody please make sense?
That tree is death. It absorbs you, takes your memories, and turns you into something else. If you go there, it's going to erase you. They call it ascension here. That's really what it is.
Wait, the tree is what causes ascension?
That's what got the herbalist. The roots of the tree. Pretty curious that you neglected to mention that.
You never asked the right
Excellent
questions.
penmanship, but you are not from here. It won't do that to you guys.
Oh, yeah? Then what happened to Lewis?
Who?
Alex's
The
brother.
boy from the story.
That can't be right. She had a brother? Why didn't you mention him?
Well, you never asked, silly. It was always Alex this and Alex that.
We've been following this story the whole time, and it's not even true.
Let's go. I've got a plan.
A lot of good that's done you after, what? How many years?
Can everyone please stop? This is A lot to take in.
Huh. Looks like we're stuck at a crossroads then.
No!
God damn it, cat. Stupid teleporting abilities. Where did you take them?
Damn it. Welcome to a
Crossroads.
thunderstorm. A weather pattern that creates a physical manifestation of a mental or emotional problem. So, we appear to be at a metaphorical and literal crossroads.
How
Radio.
perfectly, stupidly ever after it. This place really is the pits.
The only way out is to resolve the problem.
Well, now she's
wait
in the
until
pits.
storm passes. Let's just get moving.
Okay, I asked for that. Where's Yang? And Blake?
Must have had something bigger to work out.
Blake! Yay! What do we do? We need to get to that platform. But how do we take the next step?
Oh, really? Well, in that scenario, it's quite simple. You just walk along the bottom ropes very carefully while holding on.
You know this would go quicker if you make up your minds.
I just don't get how the story is both real and not.
It all happened. Just not the way Alex said when she wrote it.
I didn't see the reflection behind Ruby.
So, what? She just lied?
You have no idea. I waited for you to fall. For years. But somebody else showed up first. It was Alex. And her brother, Lewis. 2 siblings from Remnant. I told them I was from there too. I was waiting for my friends.
So I
Once I
was right
started
about
helping them, it
the
didn't take long for me to figure out
boy in the
I
mirror
was
not
in
being
her story. I was the rusted knight.
Alex.
But things weren't
Like some
always the
people
same
thought.
as the book. Like Alex. She wasn't just a little petulant or inconsiderate. She was selfish. Cruel. Like this whole world was simply make-believe and the rules didn't apply to her. Lewis was the kind one. The clever one. We went places she didn't mention in the story. Like the herbalist. Something changed there. Whatever he said to her, she wasn't the same after that. She lost all trust in us. Started accusing us of things. The more I tried to get the story back on track, the more she distrusted me. Was it my fault? Did I change the story? I couldn't even be the make-believe hero. I didn't have time to make it right. The rusted knight drank the poison in her stead. She said she wouldn't let anyone get in the way of her leaving. That she'd do whatever it takes. And then she was gone. So, not exactly my favorite story anymore.
I'm so sorry.
How
Wait,
did you recover from
Why don't
poison?
you trust the cat then?
The cat's role in the ever after. I figured it out later when the cat came back for me once Alex left. When people lose their way here, the cat convinces them somehow. Either to keep performing their role or to go to the tree and get a new one. The cat calls it healing, but it's manipulation. The cat was never helping Alex or you. Their purpose here
Well, this
was to
completely
feed
screws up
the
my
tree, to keep the
genre
cycle
theory
going.
that's coming out before
How
this
can you
one
be
does.
sure?
Because the cat took Alex and Lewis there. But only one of them made it back to our world.
However, it does sort of like that comment right there leads credence to my what if the boy was the one who returned, took over Alex's role.
You alright? I'll feel a lot better when we're together on that platform.
No.
No luck? I'm sure you'll figure it out, though. You're good at that. You think so? Well, yeah. You've got a really good brain. Okay, that did something. I talked about you, so... you have cat ears!
Yes, no, that's not gonna work.
I think your cat ears are cute. Nailed it! Even though I don't know what it is yet. Maybe it's saying things we never said to each other.
Taking the next step.
I think you're an extraordinary person. You're always the first to lighten a situation. You act bravely when you're afraid. You do what you say. Try to keep up.
Well, this is sweet.
I like that you've never been intimidated by me. Even when you didn't like me all that much. I was a little wary of people in general. But you never gave up on them, even when they hurt you. You never give up. You know what matters to you. Let's make this quicker. Any big truths we haven't dropped on each other yet? Did you just think of something that didn't say it? That can't be what this is about. It's like a cliff. And if I do it, I'm just going to fall. I think we're already falling. Just say it, Yang. I think I love you. I love you too.
Their issue seemed a lot easier than Ruby's did. That was always going to happen.
Oh, how odd. This time you were in the first place I looked, rather than the last.
Jean told us.
Oh, I thought there was more to the story. You're accusing me of something. Same page now.
You're the one who gives afterins to the tree. Why haven't you been telling us the truth?
When afterins get all higgledy-piggledy, I help them return to the ever-after, yes. But you're not afterins. I'm not taking you there to ascend. I'm taking you there because you all have such delightful information for me.
You pretended like you'd never heard of the story when you met us. But Jean had already told you.
I think old Jean's maybe a few sandberries short of a picnic these days, wouldn't you say?
What happened when you took Alex and Louis to the tree?
I don't know. She had told me she'd take me with her through the door to Remnant, but she tricked me. Just like all of you. You only want to use me in the same way I've only seen others as sources for knowledge and entertainment. Well, at least now I know what not to do.
We just want to get home.
Thank you for this lesson, Ruby, Rose, Huntress. I'll be on my way now. Stay with your friend.
Did we miss anything?
Feels like I've been waiting forever for that. Come on. on to for you. It was the first thing I saw when I was falling. Years later, when I finally found it, I knew I'd caught back up to the time of my birthday. Ruby?
Hey!
What was
Thank you,
what was all
Sean.
that about?
Don't mention it.
Sean, what did happen to Lewis?
I think Alex traded him to the tree in order to leave. And then she wrote him out of the story. Good night, everyone.
What is this darkness in Jean? Because he's definitely not. He's not being 100% truthful with them either. Like, his attitude and everything when they got out. Now, when they got out of the cave, yeah, that makes sense. He saw the storm approaching. But if he saw the storm, why not just send them back into the cave? Why not avoid, like, wait for it to pass and everything? And just, he's been very short with them. You'd think that after finally reuniting with his some of his best friends, after decades, he'd be a lot more, like, understanding of their needing to take time and everything. Like, there were bits of John coming through. However, he's also not telling them everything. Because I believe everything up until the Mushroom Forest. Yeah, I believe that was the truth. However, he didn't say what the herbalist told him. He didn't say what happened after he had the poison. How did he recover? What did he mean by the cat came back for him? Because I still believe that Jean has partially ascended. That is why the cat is so confident that it would not happen to them. Because they know that there's precedent for it not working. Because there's just... It's like Jean back in Volume 4. The way he acted around Crow and everything. That is the Jean that this is looking. And in Volume 6, how he acted towards Oscar. And so, like, this darkness has always been in Jean, this anger. It's just... Why is it coming out in the way that it is in the looks he's not showing? Because when he seemed annoyed that Ruby didn't instantly take Crescent Rose. Now, again, that can be explained as he had this thing for years. He's held out hope and everything that he could do this good thing for his friend, and it's not being received well, and it could be sort of annoyance at that and annoyance at himself for misreading the situation. But the fact that she was having a mental break and
when I finally found it, I knew I'd caught back up to the time of my
because the edgings of the frame, how it got all staticky and everything, that's very reminiscent of that shot of Salem from the trailer, so... And there's a... Jumping back to the what Jean's not telling everyone. The cat. The cat is, for lack of a better word, curious. In that it apparently doesn't know what happened at the tree. Because, sure, Alex said that she was going to take it there, or take them there, take them back to Remnant and everything. And they arrived with Lewis, because the cat was at the herbalist place when Alex went through. But, yeah, it's interesting.
Story is both real and not.
So he knows that... Okay, no, that 100% confirms it's summer. Ow. Well, I was wrong about that. That is summer. That is summer right there. Okay, well, that confirms that. I figured I'd go back and check that, because I noticed the others weren't reflecting unless you were actually remembering something, so... Anyway, yeah, let's talk about the thing that's going to overshadow everything else in this episode. The Bumblebee kiss. It was always going to happen in the Ever After. The girls just needed that push to overcome their hurdle, to take that next step. And what did Gion call this?
It creates a physical to a punderstorm.
A punderstorm. A punderstorm? Yep. Okay. Thunderstorm, ponderstorm. Put them together. It's also like realistic representations of abstract concepts, which could fall under pun as well. Okay, yep. However, Aftian. I like how Weiss has just begun to accept everything. Like, she said, this is the pit. Falls through, comes back out of the sky. She's like, well, I deserve that. But, there is more to John's story than he's willing to tell them. There's still more to the cat story than they're willing to admit. There's still the final bit of what happened with Alex and everything. I still stand by the fact that Lewis is the one who returned. That Alex is still somewhere in the Ever After, because, as the cat said, she learned her lesson, but he did not say that in a kind way. He learnt it in a she fucked around and found out kind of way. So, that cat, it saw Alex be betrayed by Lewis, probably saw Lewis take up Alex's role, and yeah, would explain why there was never a second person spoken about in depth, because how could they have admitted that there was a second person without explaining what happened to them? Would explain why it was open about some of the darkest stuff that Alex did, because if she was like in the ever after, she wrote this ignoring all the bad stuff that happened, she wouldn't have framed herself that way. I'm fairly confident in the fact that the herbalist simply told Alex that either told Alex that Jean is leading her down the path that the story was saying, so he already knows everything that's going to happen, and that he's just trying to make it that same way, because if he didn't tell her, it's understandable why she would feel betrayed by that. Or could have revealed that Lewis is attempting to stop her from returning to Rome. Ooh, what if Lewis got them both trapped there in a way to mitigate her impact on the real world? That's a wild theory, but anyway. Don't fully trust Sean at the moment. I think that's been the whole point of this ending talk. I'll catch you in the next one.